Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. It's time for your weekly punishment. It's Alpha Flight again. As much as I think we probably all love this series, we all realize that it hurts us. And you're like, no, it doesn't. I love Alpha Flight, but it hurts you. It's one of those series that it's good sometimes and it's really not good other times, and you kind of just like left hoping that it's going to be a little bit consistent and maybe stay okay. And it has its ups and downs. During this time period, this is issues 73, 74, 75, and 76. And this is the year 1989. Wow. Man, it just feels like we've been going through the series forever. It's like it never ends. I can't believe we're not into the 90s yet. I could have swore by these issues that we would have been in the 90s by now. This does not look to be one of the greater art saga periods of it. I mean, it's serviceable. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. But there's certainly been better artists that worked on it. And I do think this time period, it's been so hard. It's been so long since I read this. I can't remember if this is a good era or not. I feel like it is. I feel like when I was originally reading this book that I was still pulling them off the shelves or pulling them out of the quarter bins and enjoying them. But it's not one of its landmark, runs of Alpha Flight. Diamond Lil. Wow. Oh, she slaps Diamond Will and she says, "I'm invulnerable, you cow." And isn't Diamond Lil Madison Jeffries' ex-wife or something? There's some relationship there with somebody. I can't remember who. But if I remember this phase of Alpha Flight, they really didn't do a lot to save Earth or anything. They were running around in space doing other dumb stuff, or I can't even remember. That's how little impact it left on me. Is what, I can read it and don't even remember from the first time I read it what it was about. I do remember this time period having, I think the only original starter lineup was Vindicator. It does look like Talisman and, well, I guess Sasquatch is here, yeah. And Shaman. But I know it was pretty light on its original teams. President Richards disbands Senate. Yeah, they're definitely in a parallel world. Did they put all the ads in the back? That's kind of crazy. We'll have to look in the next one. I don't remember seeing a single ad, but they stuck them all in the back. That was really nice of Marvel to do that. However, I realized for the advertisers, it's probably not near as much traffic. Oh, little yawn there because it's early. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're in a parallel world and she kills Spider-Man. Because I think he's like a criminal or something. He attacks him. But it's a nice opening page. It's a nice opening story. Diamond Lil dumping Spider-Man's body in a trash can. Waste bin. Yes, I do remember this a little bit now that I see that. It's kind of bringing it back. And this was a pretty good story, if I remember right. James Hudson is Canada's Prime Minister. So I do love Elseworld stories sometimes. And I think this one was done pretty good. You are unregistered parahumans. It's almost, I mean, it's not AOA, of course, but it's pretty interesting. Here's your whole breakdown. Started talking about the summer of 1990, and it was the first time I saw him get emotional. What happened? Dr. Doom formed a secret alliance with some of the world's most powerful super criminals. They managed to overthrow the government in the Soviet Union in just 48 hours. The Soviet Union was still a thing in 1990, guys. I think it was 1993. Finally, the Soviets fell. Or the Soviet Union collapsed. Wow. Lots of stuff going on. It gives you a chance to pit heroes that would never normally fight, and then they can fight. So that is one thing that everybody always appreciates, because you always got the, well, how would they handle dealing with that? Well, there's no reason they would ever fight. Well, it would if they were in an Elseworlds, you know, which is, of course, maybe true, but it's not like it's the same exact person. Yeah, Wolverine's claws look way longer in this universe. Yep, ads in the back. 74 in the bag. Giant size spectacular anniversary issue. All Out War in the Marvel Universe. This is issue 75. Which means, are we in the 90s now? Nope, still October 1989. We'll be in the 90s soon. Is this Puck? It doesn't look like Puck. But it is. It is Puck. Eugene Judd. Yeah, I don't hate the art. I don't want to bag on the guy. John Calamy. I have done it I have seen it done better. And I at least got to give props to the colorist who works with his art. It is a pretty good combination. It presents a pretty good style. Although I would have totally pegged this as looking more like a 1993 or 94 comic as in the 1989. It just looks a little more, it just looks too poppin' to be an 80s comic. Looks like these held up well. The pages didn't leak any ink or fade or anything like that. Huh. Puck grows wings. That's cool. Not sure why that happens, but okay. Your voice, but your body. And why did, if you moved into a different body, Puck, why do you still have like no hair and the same goatee? Like, why you could do a different hairdo? I do not remember this part with Puck. I do remember the Elseworlds thing, but I think it just, I know, like, it probably just gave him a chance to really, ugh. Good night. What is wrong with Rogue's hair? That is the worst thing I've ever seen. Who did this? Actually, we know who did this. The guy I was just trying to compliment his art, he did this. I guess. Why is Elvis here? Elvis shows up to help. Yeah, blasting Rogue in the face. I don't know. This is probably a little cathartic for the writers of Alpha Flight, because it's like, you know, we got this crappy team that everybody bags on and nobody gets to do anything. Let's at least have them beat the Avengers and the X-Men or something. Let's have them do something worthwhile. Something that makes them look cool. This is one of the cooler stories I remember seeing, though. Yeah, why is Elvis and Santa Claus here? Both of them. At the same time, apparently. I have to say goodbye to our friends, Elvis and Santa Claus. Yeah, they roll with that one awfully. Like, there's no tongue-in-cheek. They just straight up do it. Could Alpha Flight hold their own against these heroes? I don't think so. Gamma Flight. Issue 76. I think we've seen Gamma Flight before. Gosh, it's a blur now. Pretty sure we have. But, so Gamma Flight was actually a pretty good team of villains. That, of course, most of them get rolled into the main roster as good guys, but they do cause a bunch of trouble for Alpha Flight, if I remember correctly. You got Wild Child, Kyle, who actually, the first time I ever saw him was in AOA, being carried around by Sabretooth, which is a little bit weird. Oh, golly, not you. This is one of the that is creepy. That is what? 3, 4. It's 2 dead cats, 1 dead dog, and the little girl that killed them all. That's terrible. Like, all that's terrible. Ugh. Well, it looks like we got ads back in the middle of the book. But it's for Bionic Commando, which was a fantastic video game back in the day. Super hard, but good game. Boy, our colorist is really popping it today. Like Archie Bright colors. Okay, so the girl is alive. That's nice. Let's hope she has no memory of being possessed by a giant demon and murdering all of her pets. That could be rough to explain to her. All right. Well, that was actually a pretty good chunk of Alpha Flights. I hate to call it a punishment, because that was pretty interesting. Flip through about what they were going on with at this time. So mark that down. 75 through 76, or 75 and 74. If you see those in a back bin, grab those. Those are pretty cool, actually. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you love Alpha Flight and hate it at the same time, go check out the rest of my Alpha Flight videos. I will eventually get through the whole series. It just takes time. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you for watching. Bye.